All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And I still cannot get my iPhone to work as my webcam after my latest update to Sequoia on my Mac. So for the time being, I'm going to have to use my webcam, which is nowhere near as good, but it's what I have to work with for the time being. And boy, do we have some stuff to talk about today. First of all, Superman tickets went on sale this morning, early this morning, for the special showing on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. There were literally about 10 theaters in my area that were going to be showing it. And when I got on, I had no problems on securing 2 tickets. And it was no issues at all. There are reports of people having problems getting on. Other people are saying they're not having trouble getting on. I had no issues whatsoever getting those tickets. There were plenty of tickets left. I went about my morning. I went to PT this morning. I get back. There's still plenty of tickets left. It is not selling out. I don't know why they're having issues. I think they just want to have, this in the news cycle to continue to talk about it. But there are plenty of theaters in my area that still have tickets available in the Phoenix area. So if you want to go see it, those tickets are available through Fandango if you are a Prime member. Now, what's funny is I posted about this on Twitter, and I had a bunch of people come out and call me a liar. Why would I go see it? Wall's closed. I'm a defector. I'm a shill. That I lied. And I never said I wasn't going to go see the film, people. I never said that. In fact, I have to go see it to review it. And I've always been upfront and honest about that. And it's not going to change my channel in the least. I told everybody I go into every single film judging it on its own merits. Now, I could tell you I haven't liked the marketing, and everybody could see that. I think it's been terrible for a film that is this big for Warner Brothers. They need to put their best foot forward, and they certainly have not. And in fact, there was a weird promotion from Entertainment Weekly this morning where, again, James Gunn had to shove his face in there. It started out with a really nice moment with the girl, Rachel Brosnahan, or whatever her name is, playing Lois Lane and David Cornsweet, where they had a moment in the telephone booth. The camera pans out, and who's in the other telephone booth? It is James Gunn, and it was about heroes. And it's disgusting. He has to shove his face into freaking everything. He is not that big of a name. I'm ready for this movie to come and go, and hopefully he gets humbled a little bit through this process. But we've got some things to look at here today, and it's very interesting because all of a sudden there's a bunch of news on some upcoming projects, and we're going to take a look at what has been discussed today. So I have a few photos here, and I thought this was pretty funny. There are a lot of people trolling Superman at this stage, and Matt Jarbo posted, "Wow, this leaked screenshot from Superman really does set the tone, doesn't it?" And it has Crypto peeing on Superman before he drags him back to the Forges of Solitude when he is hurt. I just think it's really funny how people are taking this to the max. There are a couple of other funny videos. I've never seen a movie get trolled as much as this film does. And that's got to tell you something. The amount of negativity around this film, and I'm not just talking about my channel, because I don't go to the lengths of making goofy stuff where other people do. If you look at the amount of ridiculousness that has come out of this film, I have never seen anything like it in my life. This movie is coming in with a very divided fan base. Also, I think I'm going to dig these out. I know where a couple of these are, and I think I know where one is. I have all of these cups. Who has these? Chime off below in the comments. I would love to know who still has their original Batman and Robin, or Batman Forever mugs. I think there might have been some for Batman and Robin too. I don't remember. But I still have all of these. I have all 4 of them. And I will definitely pull those out one day and show you guys in a video, because I know, like I said, I know exactly where they're at. And this was, it's crazy to think that this is the 30th anniversary of this, which is just insane. I remember when this movie came out and I was working at Nabisco, I actually had a colleague of mine, I think he was my district manager at the time. We were collecting all of these toys, and we would take a lot of these toys for this and Batman the Animated Series, and we would actually hide them on the top shelf in the Nabisco stuff so that when we were ready to go purchase them, they were sitting there waiting for us. It's just goofy stuff that I remember from back in the day. It's crazy to think of how nostalgic this is. And I was an adult at the time. I can only envision what it was like for people who were kids when these movies came out. So here we go. Because of tickets demand, the Fandango porthole crashed for people. I knew this was going to happen. I called this out yesterday. It's not just because of Superman or the popularity. They're definitely having technical issues because there are still plenty of tickets left. Some people tried to send me messages showing, we only have the front row. Then it's not sold out. If you are a true Superman fan and you really want to see this and it's sold out everywhere, you're going to take that front row, hell or high water. And so even with the post that people were sending me, all of the tickets were not sold in those particular theaters. And when I pulled mine up, it's in one of the biggest theaters here in Arizona, and I would say that there were maybe 20 tickets sold when I purchased mine. And I don't know how long they had been up, but that was over 3 hours ago, and I'm sure there's still tickets left in many areas where I live. So breaking, James Gunn has announced that a new Wonder Woman movie is now in development. This comes from Entertainment Weekly. So yes, Wonder Woman is now officially in development, and I can tell you why this is happening and why a lot of the slate has been pushed to the side. Because David Zaslav originally said that he understands how important the Trinity is, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. He said this long before James Gunn came in as the CEO, and I think he's going to try and make good on that promise. I think things have been changed, and they're now forcing to bring in Batman because I do believe that the next film is going to be a world's finest film, and we're going to take a look at that next here. So first of all, I'm not going to make this any bigger or play the music, but here was that Entertainment Weekly promo with the video with David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan. If I'm saying her name right, I don't even remember. And then there's James Gunn in the next thing. Like, seriously? Like, he's got to insert himself into everything. Here was a post about Wonder Woman where I said because David Zaslav told him he has to. And then here was the one that I wanted to really talk about. James Gunn, this comes from the home of DCU. James Gunn on his next film being a Superman sequel or not. This comes from Entertainment Weekly as well. What I'm working on is in some ways, yes. But is it a straight-up Superman sequel? I would not say necessarily. And here's where I think we're going with this. I do believe it is going to be a world's finest with Batman. It's all about James Gunn, and he's going to want to be the guy who actually casts Batman. We already know his feelings on Batman. He has tweeted about his feelings on Batman. The only Batman he likes is George Clooney's Batman. He likes the goofy crap. And there has been a very goofy World's Finest comic that has been running for the last several years with Mark Waid as the writer and Dan Mora as the artist. And I have a feeling this is what they're going to go towards, this Silver Age goofy stuff. And if they do with Batman, that isn't going to work. And Superman may end up being good. I don't know. I haven't seen the film yet. I will judge it on its own merits. But I don't want James Gunn, I've said this for the longest time, I don't want him anywhere near these heroes. I don't feel like he can do them justice. And we'll find out with Superman. We'll find out if he can play it straight. We'll find out if he gives this character his due and that it is truly a Superman film. Because I don't think James Gunn has it in him. And if I'm wrong and it goes gangbusters and does really well, I'll admit it. I'll flat out say it. I'll admit I was wrong. I just don't see that happening. Right now, I'm having the exact same feeling I did when I saw The Flash. I got to see The Flash several weeks early, and I went in and, the opening, I thought the opening was pretty cool, and I thought, this is going to be kind of neat, and then they turned it into nothing but a goofy comedy. We saw that at the beginning with the babies, falling out of the building. We saw it with Batman and Wonder Woman and the lasso. Like, they turned the whole movie into a freaking joke. And I'm sorry, that Flashpoint storyline was not a comedy in the comics. For some reason, Warner Brothers they have this need to turn everything into a comedy. and I do not understand it. I do not understand it. But I do believe, by all the hints and everything that's been coming out, even Jeff Snyder has talked about his feelings on this. I do believe this is where this is going to go, and it's going to be my worst nightmare. The last guy I want in charge to do a World's Finest film is James Gunn. All right, guys, so there you have it. Now, everything with Wonder Woman or a follow-up with, the World's Finest is going to be dependent upon how well Superman does. If Superman does not do well, this whole thing may be scrapped. And I have a feeling it's not going to do well. All right, guys, as more information gets released for the DCU, I will be covering it. So if you want to stick to my channel, I'll be bringing you all of my commentary on the things that are happening with DC. And I actually have some more positive things being planned for my channel coming up. So you're going to want to stick around for that. I'm going to be talking more about DC Comics in general. And, yesterday I forgot to do a quick health update, so I'm going to go ahead and do that in this video. I did see my surgeon for the 6-month update yesterday. I made incredible progress on my rehabilitation. I am now almost walking 100% normally. I'm able to function for the most part. There are some things I can't do, and that's for the lawyers to deal with. That's going to be, up to the doctors and the lawyers to deal with. But when I saw my surgeon, I didn't get such good news. I was originally told that within 10 years, I was probably going to need a hip replacement. Well, they have now changed the timeline to 3 to 5 years. They said, unfortunately, it looks like arthritis has set in, that with the impact of the accident, that it killed a lot of the cartilage in my joint, in my hip, and that they expect I will need a hip replacement sometime in the next 3 to 5 years. I will do everything to prevent that from happening at this stage. I've still got a whole 6 more months of rehab, with PT, and I'm still going to have pains with my leg as I continue to strengthen the muscles that were lost in that atrophy, after my accident. So not the best news, not what I wanted to hear. They're not even going to guarantee me that I'm ever going to be able to get to my foot to put my own shoes and socks on again. I can get to my right foot just fine, but not my left foot. And again, one day I'm going to tell you guys everything that happened when the lawyers allow me to. I can't get into too much stuff, but I was not happy after yesterday's visit, but we will see what happens. But it was really nice today at PT. I was actually able to get on a treadmill and walk normally for a while and focus on getting the rehab done so that my stride looks normal because I've been having to limp for so long. All right, guys, so there's the update for the day. I do appreciate all the support. We will see you guys on the next video.